Hey there, Griever Gang. Welcome back to Griever Productions. I'm here with Day 6 of the Killing Voice videos, and funnily enough, I'm here with Day 6. I think I'm cute. I think I'm being cute. You know, maybe a little bit. No, not really. Let's forget I said any of that. Look, I know very little. I know actually next to nothing about this group, so I'm very excited to see how this goes. I'm very excited because looking at the the opening sort of still here, we've got multiple instruments as well. So this is going to be very good. I'm thinking this is going to be great. So let's get into this one. Before we begin, please do leave a like on the video. It really does help. If you have not subscribed, I'd highly appreciate it if you did so. Thank you to all the Patreon members listed here. If you want to get yourself on this list, you can do so. There will be a link to the Patreon in the description below. And there's more ways to help at the end. So without any further ado, let's have a listen to Day 6 performing their Killing Voice video. I think this is the first group that we've seen with instruments in their Killing Voice video. Okay. Ooh. Very interesting. Okay, first of all, the one thing I do want to bring up, I would like for the vocals to come up in the mix a little bit. They seem to be a little bit drowned out by the music, but having said this, I don't know if this is the first time Dingo had done this for a Killing Voice video, so they may just not be used to mixing for a whole group. But what intriguing voices, and I'm really impressed at the end there that they started doing like octave work in when they're singing the O's. That was really nice. You don't hear that very often. I've said in many a video that a lot of people don't utilize octaves where they absolutely could, but I'm intrigued by the different tones that we're getting out of all of these different voices here and the range in which they have as well. It's very interesting.
인사드리겠습니다. 하나, 둘, 셋. 안녕하세요, 데이식스입니다. 네. 저희 데이식스가 드디어 이렇게 킬링 보이스를 나오게 됐네요. 아, 오래 기다렸습니다. 이번에 저희 데이식스 킬링 보이스 많은 곡들 준비했으니까요. 기대해 주셔도 좋을 것 같습니다. 그럼 바로 한번 달려보시죠.
I can't tell, right? There's an echo or a reverb on his voice, and I can't tell if that's an effect on the microphone or if that is literally the echo of the room coming back into that microphone. And I know that that's a weird thing to bring up, but it didn't sound robotic.
저희 데이식스 킬링 보이스 많은 곡들 준비했으니까요. 기대해 주셔도 좋을 것 같습니다. 그럼 바로 한번 달려보시죠.
Like, that sounds too organic. I wonder. Interesting. Very interesting. One moment. Oh, God, I needed to sneeze. I needed to sneeze and it's gone. I hate that. That's the worst.
장난 아니네.
네, 이 곡은 저희가 작년 크리스마스 때 공연을 했는데
Interesting how everything is so different.
이 곡이 비로소 완성이 된 곡입니다.
And I know a lot of people are probably sick of hearing me say that it's interesting how things are so different. But there's definitely a difference between a vocal group that aren't playing music, that aren't playing their own music, and a group that kind of is, because I don't know. Usually, it's more centered towards a certain style or towards a certain feel. So I wonder how they write their stuff. I wonder if it's okay, because I've worked with a number of bands that have had a number of different sort of methods for writing, where some would get the whole band together, they'd jam stuff out, we'd all work out the song together, and then there were others that one member would bring in a song that they were kind of working on and would go, hey, this is what I want to do. So I'd be interested to know if that's how they do it. Maybe like the keyboard player's got a single, like a style, like a personal style that they like to do, so they bring that to the party, and then they're just happy to play whatever the guitarist wants to play, something like that. If anybody knows, please do let me know. But it is interesting. It's definitely interesting. But I'm loving this as far as like a very simple, easy listening sort of video so far. There's not anything too complex going on. You can tell that they're doing a really good job. They are very competent musicians and very competent singers. But, you know, it's not too much going on. It's really easy to digest. I'm liking it.
I got only one life, nothing for you. 내 사랑에 그저 몸을 맡길 때 날 바라봐줘.
Where they're changing octaves vocally is an interesting thing as well. They just kind of do it out of nowhere. See what I mean? Like, they just kind of decide that they're going to go from one octave to the next. Just on a whim, and I'm wondering if that is because there's maybe more harmony work or something in the studio versions that isn't coming through here for whatever reason. Maybe they have layered a certain level of harmony work and kind of decided this would be the easier way to sing it live. That would be an interesting one to find out.
이제 들려드릴 곡은 저희에게 굉장히 소중한 곡입니다. 저희를 있게 해준, 존재하게 해준 곡, 저희의 데뷔 앨범 Congratulations 들려드리겠습니다.
Congratulations 어떻게 이래 Congratulations 넌 절대 내게
Interesting. They're so different tonally.
이 곡은 저희의 아주 효자 같은 곡, 네, 예뻤어 들려드리겠습니다.
지금 이 말이 우리가 다시 시작하자는 건 아냐. 그저 너의 남아있던 기억들이 떠올랐을 뿐이야. 정말 하루도 빠짐없이
There's something interesting with this gentleman's voice here. Okay, so as an example, right, with this gentleman, the keyboard player, his voice, the resonant center of his voice is very forward. It's very, very forward. And I can hear that. With the next gentleman, I can't quite decipher where his placement is. So where the kind of resonant center of this gentleman's voice is. Because there are points where I think it's like kind of in the middle here, but then there's other points where it feels like it, or it sounds like rather, that it's kind of back further. And there's every possibility that he's changing it depending on what note he's hitting as well, because that can help people get certain notes and that sort of thing. But something that I mention is what we try to do as singers and try to make things sound easy, right? We try to make everything kind of sound uniform, whether it be changing through the different areas of the voice, like chest voice, head voice, mixed voice, all that sort of thing. The same thing goes with placement, right? And with the placement, like okay, let's see if I can do this here, okay? So as I'm talking right now, my resonant center, I've moved it to the front, okay? And now I've moved it a little bit further back. It's a little bit more in the middle here. And then we've moved it into the back here. Let me know if that actually comes through the microphone or not. I'll probably hear it or not in when I'm recording it. When I'm editing it. And you can tell that with each of those different resonance centers, my voice sounds different, right? You could almost you could almost convincingly say that they were different voices. The gentleman here, where is he here? If he is doing this, if he is changing that resonant center, he is doing an incredible job of keeping it uniform, which is something that you don't see often at all. Like, usually there's some form of tonal indicator or something that makes you go, oh, okay, they've changed where their voice is. But I can't pick it with this guy. Let's go back and have a listen to this in comparison here. And I'd just like to point out too, me saying that this gentleman, that I can straight away pick where his resonance center is, has nothing to do with quality. Because I love this guy's voice. It is beautiful. It is just much more understandable from my point of view than the next gentleman. It's all here. But then yeah, like that higher part there sounded like it was further back, but the rest of it sounded kind of centered. This is intriguing to me. And then that sounded like, yeah, that last note especially. And I need to go through this line too here. So the thing that's so appealing to me about this gentleman's voice is that uncanny ability to throw on that little bit of vocal fry, but when going back into the clean vocal, it is seamless. It is flawless. Usually, and when I say usually, I mean usually people that haven't practiced this a lot, right? What you would hear is some indicator. Actually, you know what? Even with some pros as well, when a voice goes from a harsher tone to a cleaner tone, usually that cleaner tone does get a little bit, let's use the word invaded. I can't think of a better word for it right now, but it kind of gets a little bit taken over by that harshness. It's almost like the harshness kind of creates like a lasting effect that is hard to kind of drop out of. However, people like this gentleman here, who I'm very jealous of, just switch it on and switch it off. Probably the most drastic version of this, and the most drastic example that I can give you is Alyssa White. Alyssa White Gulls or Gluz? Gluz. Alyssa White Gluz from Arch Enemy or Arch Enemy, however you want to pronounce it. And what she does is she does this like full-blown screamo voice, okay? But then she has this insane ability to swap off that voice and then go straight into something clean. And I know that Arch Enemy or Arch Enemy don't tend to have a lot of songs that do both, or maybe their newer stuff does. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not as up on them as I have been in the past. She does a lot of backing vocals for a band called Camelot, and they are on the heavier side. And the backing vocals that she does are the scream vocals as well as the clean vocal. I was very fortunate to see her live with them last time they came out and watch her do exactly that live. So it's not even a it's not a studio interference thing that a lot of people would kind of put it to, because they are so polar opposites, like crazy. Definitely one to listen for, because her ability to do that is crazy. But that, I digress. Back to this. This gentleman has that similar thing here. Sure, it's not full screamo metal, but it is that harshness that very, very nicely and very instantly goes into that clean, and there's no quality loss. It's beautiful. It's really good. It's really well done. Very emotive. Very emotive. I love that. Everything is well thought out with these guys. Like, even that last vocal line here. Hang on. I haven't gone back far enough, clearly. Like that swap into head voice there. Very intentional, very purposeful. Pardon me. Okay, give me just a second. I need to refresh this page because it keeps jittering. Oh, shoot. Now I've lost where I am. Never mind, I found it. There we go. Wow.
말할 수 있겠어 사랑하고 싶어 그대
Okay, I'm going to go back to the start of this. Now, the reason is, okay, I talk about making things sound easy, making things look easier than what they are. And I can't think of a better example than both of these two gentlemen in this first line here. Reason I say this. This gentleman here, you can tell that, like, I'm not sure if he's in a mixed voice or if he's in his chest voice, but it sounds like kind of the top of his chest voice sort of area, which you can tell that he's putting a lot of effort in. You can see that around here he's getting a little bit of tension, which there are ways to avoid that tension, but and the reason that I mention avoiding tension is because tension is kind of the enemy of the voice, but by doing the techniques that I teach, sure, there's reason to believe that it will help with longevity of the voice, but then there are people as well that manage to go through having anything happen. So the voice is an ever developing, ever mutating thing. Despite the fact that, like, if you look for the small indicators, like the little bit of tension here, the kind of way does he kind of stiffen up his back a little bit? Maybe a little bit, maybe not too much. You look at the face here, and he's just doing it. Like, he's just having a good time, making that as beautiful as he possibly can, and doing a very, very good job. Same with the next gentleman. They are just doing their thing, and that is wonderful.
참으려봤지만 더는 안 되겠어 이제야 말할 수 있겠어 사랑하고 싶어 그대 오늘만큼은 I smile 아프더라도 I smile 너의 앞에선 아무렇지 않은 척 잘 지내고 있는 척 반드시 웃는다
Lovely trill there. Beautiful.
너를 보내고 나면 웃음은 사라지겠지
Wow, that was tight. That was really tight. That was brilliant.
이 곡은 아주 바쁘게 살아가고 있는, 매일 버티고 있는 모든 현대인들을 위한 노래입니다. 어제는 어떤 날이었나, 특별한 게 있었던가, 떠올려 보려 하지만 별다를 건 없었던 것 같아.
오늘도 똑같이 흘러가 나만 이렇게 힘들까 어떻게 견뎌야 할까 마음껏 소리쳐 울면 나아질까
Yeah, live a life. 낮과 밤을 반복하면서
Live a life 뭔가 바꾸려 해도
할 수 있는 것도
가진 것도 없어 보여
I love this.
없이 솔직하게 써도 돼 패줘 Maybe love me or leave me tonight So tell me now
Okay, that was really cool. I really liked that. Musically, that is kind of like up my alley. Like really, really up my alley.
So if you wanna hurt me, baby, just hurt me. I'm okay. So if you wanna hurt me, baby, just
가슴을 박히는 너의 바람 말이 사실은 너무 아파 이걸 so bad so bad
그래 날 쏴, bang bang 너의 볼레 얼마든지 맞아줄게. 원한 게 이거라면 just show me 나를 향해서 bang bang 그게 피네 이제 너무 익숙해 이걸로 풀린다면 just show me
Again, stylistically, very cool.
네, 이제 들려드릴 곡은 저희의 정규 3집 타이틀곡 스위커스.
네가 등장하면서부터 내 삶과 꿈미래 그 모든 게 바뀌어.
그때 기다려줬더니 변해가는 내일이 좋아 미칠 정도야
It's a sweet cake. 너를 알아가면 갈수록 내 취향 과 패턴 그 모든 게 바뀌어.
This is cool.
날 보면 내일이 바보 같아 보일지 몰라 그래도 좋아 It's a sweet cake
모든 게 불안해. But I like.
Stylistically, that's not far from the stuff that I actually listen to. Am I going to be buying Day6 albums after this? Is this what's going to happen? It may. It may very well happen. Oh boy. All right, moving on.
이제 마지막을 향해 달려가고 있습니다. 저희의 모든 순간이 최고의 순간이 되길 바라겠습니다.
매일 밤 눈을 감으면 점점 두려워져 내일이 없을까봐
그렇게 날 살아가 하루하루를 아쉬워해. 하지만 날 미소가 가득 담겨있게 나에게 쥐어지는 매일이 gonna be my best part.
Hang on. Something happened here. I heard it. Something happened. I think one of the drum hits was just slightly off time and it threw things out a little bit just for a split second. Could be wrong though. Very good though.
내일은 걱정 말고 아무 신경 쓰지 말고 같이 프리하게
Dance dance tonight
나 everybody dance
Dance dance tonight
다 같이 프리하게 yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
네, 지금까지 저희 데이식스 킬링 보이스 한번 여러 곡 준비해 봤는데 마음에 드시는 곡이 있다면 꼭 한번 음원 사이트를 통해서 많이 들어주시면 감사하겠습니다. 그러면 마지막으로 이제 저희 한 곡 들려드리고 이제 저희는 가보도록 하겠습니다. 가보시죠.
가보자구. 자구.
Hey, go! 솔직히 말할게 많이 기다려왔어 너도 그랬을 거랍니다 오늘은 여길 매일같이 달력을 보면서
솔직히 나에게도 지금 이 순간은 꿈만 같아 너와 함께라 오늘을 위해 꽤 많은 걸 준비해봤어
All about you and I 다른 건 다 제쳐두고 나 come in me take my hand
See, that is what I mean. That vocal, that harshness into that clean, that clean tone. Ah!
you and I 다른 건 다 제쳐두고 나 come in me take my hand
Actually, you know what? It reminds me a bit of Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars doesn't go quite that heavy with the effect on his voice, but it's got a very similar similar range and similar tone between them. It's interesting.
아름다운 청춘의 한잔 함께 써내려가자 너의 추억들로
Ooh, do that again. Hang on.
아름다운 청춘의 한잔 함께 써내려가자 너의 추억들로
Interesting.
아무것도 하지는 마 나에게 다 맡겨봐 지금 이 순간이 다시 넘겨볼 수 있는 한 페이지가 될 수 있게
This is our page our page
감사합니다. 감사합니다.
Very cool.
안녕. 고생했다. 빠이. 가보겠습니다.
That's very cool. I have some questions, and we'll get to them in the final thoughts. Okay, day 6. On day 6, I really liked these guys. This was really fun. There was a lot going on. I'm always impressed when a group of very proficient singers also take to playing instruments at the same time. Is it a requirement for them to be better? No, absolutely not. Because sometimes you do want them to focus on one thing and not the other. But both were absolutely incredible. Like, they were incredible at absolutely both. Like, were they playing incredibly intricate music lines and that sort of thing? No, not necessarily. But what it was very entertaining. It was very good. It was very easily digestible, as I said earlier in the video, and it was very easy to listen to. Like, I've sat here, like, I'm looking at the runtime of this video, right? So it's about 21 minutes. I've been recording for 40, and obviously I'll cut out all the faff because that's what I tend to do. So it may be a little bit less, but I usually have more to say on the other groups that have about the same runtime. And I think the reason for that is because most of this was just me enjoying it. They, like, each of their members had great voices. They've got really interesting music. They've got an interesting diversity of their music. I'd love to know who writes their stuff. I assume being instrumentalists, they would most likely write their own stuff, but please correct me if I'm wrong, because I know that that's not always the case. But yeah, let me know of some more of their stuff that you'd like me to have a look at, because honestly, This was good. This was really good. I really liked this. So I guess that's it. I guess that's all I have to say on that one. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe, do that sort of thing, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked what we did here today, for as little as $3 Australian per month, you can join us over on Patreon and become one of our tiered members and join the wonderful list of people here. If you're into gaming, I also have a gaming channel that I have recently gotten back into, and also on this splash screen you might see something a little bit interesting. More news on that coming soon.